no, and then the fans are going to want to. Look at everybody wants to spend money.
Yeah, but you can't say yes to whatever Mo wants.
Exactly.
But then the way that owners...
Fans realise that as well. You tell me one Liverpool... Who's Liverpool fan in here? Put your hands up for Liverpool fan. Would you give Mo Salah whatever he wants? Like £1 million a week? You wouldn't.
All right, okay. He just said yeah.
Owners don't listen to fans, though.
Exactly.
I think it's being, but then they have. But I don't think they ever have. So I don't think there's a correlation between whether or not they buy whoever they buy and what success an owner wants. I don't think it's got anything to do with any sort of sustained fan pressure. I think what's happening here is a reason has been created, a scapegoat's been created for an increase in ticket prices. Because you're putting it on the fans, and now you're blaming the fans for putting it on the fans.
No, because you give them the contract. Let me tell you, footballers get paid too much. Footballers get paid too much, and let me explain. I was the first £10,000 a week player in the country, yeah? And it's gone mad. Got £10,000 a week, blah, blah, blah. Mo Salah earning £500,000 a week is not a problem. Mo Salah, top earners, the problem is average players earning £100,000 a week, and there are more of them, Now, we always want to sign players. So you sign a player, yeah? You think you're going to sign a player, 5 players. Okay, it's not Mo Salah, but how many players are you going to have on £100,000 a week who are not even playing in the team? And then what do we say? We've got some injuries, sign more players, and then sign more players. So it's not, Mo Salah isn't a problem where Virgil van Dijk. It's the squad whereby the amount of money you spend in football means that they have to try and recoup the money from somewhere. Yeah.
What you need to be careful with as well, John, is you're going to price out the real fans of even being able to afford the game. That's... Like, Newcastle's a great example because they're a hard-working city, a community, and then,
and then 20,000 Norwegians come over and they can afford to pay it. People coming from China. The club, they will be able to get those fans. Maybe not Newcastle.
The ownership should protect the fan base that's been there. That's
so how they protect it is by saying, our salaries have now got to come down. Yeah? So therefore we don't have to... No, I'm telling you. This is what would happen. If you look what happens in America, where you have a salary cap, that would be the best thing for football. A salary cap would be the best thing for football, because you can then manage your money. You can know, now in American sport, what happens in American sport is that you know how much money you're going to have at the end of the season if you lose every game. And you can budget for that. Whereas with us, if we qualify for Europe, if we win games, if we can make them, if we don't, we're going to have problems, because the salaries are too high. So, if you're talking about, and then of course, as a consequence of that, the fans pay for it. Or now, if the fans were to then say, put the prices down, put the shirt prices down, and we don't really care if you spend hundreds of millions on players, we'll put up with that and not boo you and sack you as a manager if we don't win. But would they do that?
Well, Bayern Munich's example, they've signed Harry Kane for 100 million and paying him 500 grand a week probably as well.
Yeah, but they don't pay all the players.
They didn't double the price.
But they don't pay all the fans. But if you look at the other players don't earn 100 grand a week. Whereas in England, you have average players earning 100 grand a week. So they can always play superstar players that.
My big concern is that the increase in ticket price is not actually about trying to profit off fans. It's actually about trying to keep the fans away that they don't want at stadiums. And the sad thing is, the fans that they don't want at stadiums are the locals. Yeah. And I think the thing that I'm really concerned about, from what I've seen sort of travelling to games up and down the country, is football's obviously a reflection of society. And if you are someone, not even just a lower income, but just a standard working person, and you're seeing these footballers, and they've got their Lamborghinis, and they seem more and more out of touch and more out of reach of you as a person, and you can't even go and afford to watch them play. You can't afford to even watch them. I just think there's going to be such divide, and it could get quite toxic.
I think it's worth sort of double-clicking what you're saying there about they don't want the local fans. The reason they don't want the local fans is I got tickets. My friend lives in New York, and his kid was never been to a Premier League game, and I got them tickets. They were home at Christmas, and they went. And obviously, because it's such a big deal, it's like going to a Taylor Swift concert for them. So they're in the club shop, and they are spending to beat the band in there, because this is their one time being there. If you're a local and you've gone for the last 20 years, you're not going into the club shop spending 400 quid or whatever it is. So that is the business rationale behind it. But as you say, you've got to protect the people who've got you there in the first. The only reason these people in America want to come, or wherever the country is, that they want to come and do it, is because it's the real raw passion. In a world of fake enthusiasm and people sort of wearing the hat and clapping, the football in this country's got such a genuine passion, and it does feel to me it needs to be protected.
Who do we want to own football clubs? Who do we want to own our football clubs? Before you had local people owning the football club, but then you wanted people with money from all over the place who have no relationship with the club. So let's get those owners. Now with those owners, it doesn't come the responsibility because they don't have the affiliation. So we also can't have it both ways. You can't expect them to feel for your club the way you do if they're not local people. Yeah. So you can't expect from Saudi Arabia or America to then come and they go, this is our club, we love that club.
From?
Yeah.
Where's Sir Jim Ratcliffe from? Didn't he fly the local flag about how he understands
because
Manchester?
he's been around for 6 months.
But
He's been around for 6
but
months.
The thing is, I don't think it's about necessarily where you are from. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't.